Hi there. Today we're going to do extra practice number 20 through 30, page 135 to 136. First example is what percent of 32 is 98? So we know that the equation equals P equals N times W. Our part equals our percent times our whole. So we're going to say what percent, we don't know that yet, so that stays our N, of 392, so 392 is 98, and that equals 98. So you can rewrite this as 98 equals 392 times n. Now how we're going to solve this is we're going to divide by the number next to the variable, so 392, and that is going to equal 0.25 equals n. Now again, we have to turn our decimal into a percent because they want to know what percent. So 0.25 times 100, and that's going to equal 25%. Okay, so our next one is start again, writing your formula. 30 is, so that's our part. What percent, so we don't know. And then of 64, so times 64. You can rewrite that as 30 equals 64n. Now, we're going to solve by dividing by the number next to the letter. Okay, so what you get is 0.46875 equals n. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that into a percent that I'm going to round. So 0.46875 times 100, that's going to equal 46.875. Now we want to round to the nearest tenth, so it's supposed to stop at one decimal place. You look to the 7, does it make the 8 go up or stay the same? Makes it go up, so 46.9%. 46.9%. Whoops. 9%. Okay, next one. Again, write your formula. P equals percent times whole. So 33%. Okay, and just so we work on the bottom here, 33% equals 33 over 100, and that equals 0.33. So 0.33 of what number? We don't know, so times W is 1.45. Okay, so how we're going to do this is we're going to divide by 0.33 on both sides. Okay, and we're going to get 1.45 divided by 0.33. You get 4.4090909, blah, 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 blah. So we just have to make sure we round to the nearest tenth, which is one decimal place. And the 0 makes the 4 stay the same. So that's why it's about 4.4. Okay, our next example, start with your formula. 84 is, that's here, that's your part. 75%, again, 75% equals 75 over 100, 0.75. Okay, so 0.75 times what number? So W. Divide by 0.75 on both sides. So W is going to equal 112. Okay, here's another 2. So P equals N times W. 17 is 40%. So 40% equals 40 over 100. That equals 0.4. So now we have 0.4 times W. Divide by 0.4 on both sides. So W is going to equal 17 divided by 0.4, 42.5. Okay. Here's our next one. Write your formula. P equals N times W. 80%, so 80% equals 80 over 100, and that equals 0.8. So we're going to say 0.8 times what number, which is just W, and then is your part. So now we're going to solve by dividing by the number next to the letter. So 64 divided by 0.8, that equals 80. So 80 equals W. All right. So it says the length of Giselle's arm is 27 inches. The length of her lower arm is 17 inches. About what percent of Giselle's arm is her lower arm? So if you just think about this, she has her arm, she has her whole arm, and if you just imagine this is her whole arm, and then there's a certain part that's just her lower arm. So the lower arm is the part. So that is 17 inches. And that equals what percent? So we don't know N times W, which is 27. Okay, so you can rewrite this as 17 equals 27N. Divide by 27 on both sides. And then so 17 divided by 27, that equaled 0.6296263 on my calculator. So remember, you're going to multiply that times 100 before rounding. So this number, so 0.6296263 times 100, that equaled 62.96263. Then remember, it stops at one decimal place. So the 6 makes the 9 goes up, and that's why it's considered 63%. All right. Number 27, approximately 0.02% of North Atlantic lobsters are born bright blue in color. Out of 5,000 North Atlantic lobsters, how many would you expect to be blue in color? Okay, so P equals N times W. Let's turn 0.02% into a decimal by 0.02 over 100. And that's going to equal 0.0002. So that's your percent times our 5,000. And that equals one. One lobster. Okay. So suppose you earn $6 per hour at your part-time job. What is your new hourly rate after a 2.5 raise? A 2.5% raise. So part equals percent times whole. You don't know how much your raise is, so that stays your P. Your new rate is 2.5%, which is 2.5 over 100, and that equals 0.025. 0.025 times 6. So 0.025 times 6 is 0.025. That equals 15 cents. So that means you get a 15 cents raise. So you just add that 15 cents plus the 6. So your new rate amount that you're making is $6.15. All right, now on to our Common Core test practice. Taryn's grandmother took her family out to dinner. The receipt shows the total amount spent. Taryn's dinner was 20% of the total bill after tax. How much was Taryn's dinner? So our first thing we want to do is add up everything that's over here. So 58.38 plus 3.38 plus 12.24. That's going to equal $74. Okay, so 20% of the $74 is what Taryn spent. So that's your part. So again, let's on the bottom real quick. 20% is 20 over 100. That's 0.2. So 0.2 times 74. That equals your part, and that's what's going to equal your $14.80. All right. Last question. Model each situation below with the percent equation. Select the correct equation for the problem. Okay. And then solve each problem. Okay, of 300 students, so this is your whole. 120 play in a school sport, so that's your um, part. And then they said what percent. So again, P equals percent times whole. So you want 120 equals 300 times X. And that one is this one down here. Okay. And then when you solve it, it's 40%. Here, the survey of 120 middle schools, so that is your whole. 30%, that is your percent. And then how many schools have foreign language program? So your part equals your point seven times whole. You're looking for your part. Your percent is 30%. 30% turned into a decimal 0.3. Your whole is 120. So that one is the first one over here. And when you solve it, it's 36 schools. And then our last one, Katrina saved $300 last summer. Of that amount, 12% came from her allowance. So this is the whole amount that she saved. This is the percentage that she saved. And then they want to know how much it was, so that means they're looking for her part. And so that's equation number 2. And when you solved it, it was 36%, or $36. Okay, hope that video was helpful. Thank you. Bye.